Hey you, it's me, Curtis P. Hello everyone and welcome to another Sims 4 house building video. But today we're not really building a house, we are building a condo, a luxury condo, which is kind of fun. I thought it would be an interesting idea to sort of break up the game in a way that it's not really currently designed. I realize condos and apartments don't really work inside of the game, but I thought let's do it anyway. So I took this large lot, sort of broke it up into 4 different parts and created condos out of it, which is kind of fun. Now of course one condo, there's only one condo that's really livable. The other ones are just sort of bare, empty areas, and you'll see that as we continue building, but it's kind of nice. I like the way it turned out. It's a very luxury, modern condo. I would love to live in it. I think it's really nice. Definitely one of my favorite builds that I've done in a while. So yeah, I really like it. So this is the main structure of the actual condo here. This is the one that we will be actually decorating. The ones on the sides here are just for filler, just to make it look like you live in a condo block. So it's kind of interesting. So if you wanted to, you can of course add this into your game. There's a link in the description down below, or of course there will be a card on screen towards the end of the video. But if you add this into your game and you're like, you know what, Curtis, I actually want this whole space as my house, well, you can. It's all your house anyway. You've bought the whole thing. I'm just faking the fact that you only get a quarter of it. So yeah, there you go. Adding in some windows on the front here. I kind of want to create this sort of wall of windows on the front, just sort of as an interesting accent. I was playing around with so many different window combinations, and finally I came up with this one, which was kind of interesting. So all of these different black windows, sort of creating a different pattern throughout the entire wall here, and sort of switching it up in a little couple of different ways. I love those 2-story doors that are sort of I've used inside of this build. I think they look really nice. Adding in some red accents here because I thought it looked nice, sort of stood out a lot, which was kind of nice. Red and black, they sort of play off of each other really well, so I thought it was nice. It sort of draws your attention right towards this one condo, which is really cool. Or you can call it whatever you want. I keep calling it a condo, but it could be like a townhouse too or something. But yes, so just adding in some exterior paint and such here on the condos that are sort of on each side. Once again, I give the impression of there being kind of 4 condos in this block, but really there's only one that actually has any furniture in it. So going to the back here, just sort of tweaking it up because I didn't really do the proper dimensions that I had planned out, so I'm just kind of tweaking that here, and then we're going to jump inside and actually begin planning out all of the different rooms. And it's very open concept inside of this entire build, so I really like the way that sort of turned out, and again, you'll see that in a number of seconds here, just tweaking a couple of different things. I used a shorter wall there with the sort of piece of wood along the top because I thought it looked really nice. Sort of, again, adding in a divide here. In the back, on the top floor here, there will be a master bedroom, a bathroom, and there's also a balcony back here with a hot tub on it in the end because I thought, why not? That would be super fun to have. There's also a pool in the backyard, and there's even a sort of a gym room, kind of like a little garage in the back. You'll see it towards the end of the video, but I think it turned out really well. I really like it. So here's, we're just adding in some doors and stuff. This will allow your Sims, obviously, to get from the master bedroom into the actual patio outside. So another area full of windows here. This will be the main living room area inside of the house. The living room and then the kitchen and dining room sort of overlook the living room. You, again, will see that momentarily, but it's kind of an interesting way to sort of look at it. But I really love the way that it sort of turned out. So just sort of adjusting based on space here. I kind of built it a little bit too big, so I kind of had to size it back one, but something simple to do inside of The Sims 4 because you can just push and pull walls so easily. So that's kind of one of the nice things here. Adding in more walls, this will be the main area where the kitchen is. You'll see that again shortly. Back outside to do some landscaping here and just cleaning up some stuff, adding some dirt in the front because that's kind of fun, and then tweaking the grass to make sure it looks perfect. Perfect grass, because that's what we want. I also added some square shrubs in the front because I thought that would be kind of a nice simple thing to have. It also looks very modern because they're so symmetrical, so I thought that was kind of cool. You can kind of see them there. Adding in a couple of different bushes and stuff, a little shrub here I thought in front to sort of accent it. I didn't do too much to the surrounding homes, just because I just didn't have a lot of time to sort of tweak and work on those. But you can do whatever you want to do with those if you want to. You can demolish them for all I care. But overall, I think it creates a better look if they do stay there. We're back inside of the house here, and this is the main living room inside of the actual condo. Once again, a very open floor plan here. I'm using the largest TV I could because I love me a big TV. I love me a big... I'm just going to stop doing that. No accents. Accents are bad. Adding in a bookshelf here. Kind of a fun thing I wanted to do. Just some quick lighting here just so I could actually see what I'm doing. I was going to put cork on the floor, but I was like, I don't really like the way cork looks. So went with wood flooring. I thought it was pretty traditional for sort of a modern room. So playing around with that. Some interesting columns here. And of course the fireplace. I was actually considering moving the fireplace up on the wall, but then I was like, I don't know if my Sims can use it, so that was going to be a problem. Put in this nice, I did put in some sort of countertop space around the sides just to create what looks like a really large sort of cabinet-based system around the TV, sort of an entertainment center. That's kind of what I wanted to do there. And I will be adding a fish tank to that momentarily, so you'll see that. I think it turned out really well after that, so. Playing around with some rugs here. I love this. I finally got to use one of the giant rugs inside of the game, so that's one thing I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I finally got to use one of these really big modern rugs, which is fun. You'll also notice I added this piece underneath the fireplace there. It's just a shelf that I've like made bigger, expanded, and then lowered down to the very bottom. So kind of a nice way to sort of separate the floor from the actual rug, because you know you don't want to start the rug on fire. I thought this was pretty cool. I saw this online. It's sort of like a wall of photos that look like they're on a shelf. So I kind of added that into the living room there, and you'll see this in the future a little bit. But I have a bunch of pictures and stuff that are sort of resting on these shelves that sort of line the two-story area that sort of floats between the two floors. So I really like the way that that sort of turned out. Here we go, so you can actually see, there we go, I'm going to use the giant sloth photo, which I think I turned into a giant llama photo. Yes, I do. But anyway, there you go. You can see the actual paintings. They all seem to just look like they're sitting on these shelves, and I really like the way that that looked. I thought it was kind of an interesting sort of way to showcase art. So that was kind of fun, and it looks awesome because it's like 2 stories tall, so it looks really cool. Adding in some lights here and tweaking a couple of different things, playing around with lighting, so much lighting. Here we go, just adding, I was trying to find a way to light this whole area because it was really tough to find that, but overall I think I found an alright solution. There might be a little bit too much light in certain areas, but I can't really do anything about that. Tweaking a couple of more things here, adding in a grand piano because everybody wants a grand piano in their condo. That's how you know you're rich, is when you have a grand piano in your condo. It's kind of crazy to think about that, but it's kind of a weird grand piano, though. It's really squished. I've noticed that before. I don't like using it because it looks really weird, but it's the only grand piano we really have, besides one that looks very old and Victorian, which I'm like, would not fit here, so didn't really want to use it. Adding in a couple of more lights here that are underneath the balcony, and then I'm also going to add in the fish tank here momentarily, so I delete a couple of the different pieces there and swing around the actual cabinets on the bottom just to make it look like the fish tank is actually part of this overall cabinet space. So that's kind of interesting. And I get rid of the white cabinets on the top because they just weren't working and I couldn't figure that out. So into the office space that's kind of at the front here with a glass table, which I thought was really nice, and a laptop. I saw this done by Deli Grace, and I thought it was really cool. The sort of monitors on top of the computer, I thought that was kind of cool. They're just TVs, but yeah, I thought they looked really cool, so thank you very much, Deli. Deli, am I saying that right? I'm sorry. I feel really bad because I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. So yeah, adding a couple of different things in here. This lime green sort of, I guess it's not a desk, sorry, it's like a shelf unit. Anyway, it matches the chair, which is kind of fun, so I thought, hey, let's throw that in there. Adding some surround sound into the living room, because why not? All the surround sound, please. Adding in some different clutter-based items and some art easels there, some spare ones, because I thought it would be nice. Just adding in a bunch of clutter-based items just to make it look more realistic, more lived in. I'm trying to do that more and more with my builds because it just adds that extra bit of realism into them, so yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. You don't actually get to see me building the bathroom on that floor. I had to cut it out based on time, but you can kind of see some sneak peeks at it there. Of course, to get the real view of the entire build, you can just add this right into your game. There is, of course, links in the description down below, or there will be a card at the end of this video. Adding in some modern art, and again, I found that you could make that piece of art green, which was kind of fun. I love the llama, like, multiple like the colored piece of art that's on my main floor. I love that. It's so much fun. So It's usually a sloth, but you can actually like change the color on it and change the animal, which is kind of fun. Up into the kitchen area here. The kitchen is very open concept and very it flows sort of in a line, which I really like. Black and red, which again match very well. And then I used a white cabinet in the middle just to stand out a little bit more. I thought that was kind of a fun and interesting piece to sort of use there. So all black cabinets and then red background, backsplash area. So I really like the way that the kitchen turned out. I think it's really nice. And it flows really well into the dining room, which is important the way that I kind of wanted to perceive it, right? Like I didn't want to start like sectioning this off because there was very little space to work with, so you kind of had to play with the flow a little bit there. So adding in some more clutter-based items here. This wall is actually really interesting. I at first was going to put some stuff on it, but then I was like, what if I put a window in it? And I was like, that would be really cool. So played around with some window ideas here. Those just weren't big enough. So I decided to do these like full, like width or full height, windows. So you can actually see people coming up and going down the stairs, which I thought was really kind of cool. It's kind of a fun little way to divide that up. And the wall is also a red accent on a brick background, so kind of an interesting way to sort of play around with that. Adding in some plants and stuff here into the dining room space, though it's all kind of one free-flowing area here, kind of a balcony overlooking the living room as well. Playing around with more chairs and stuff, continuing to bring the red in. Another television upstairs in case you want to be watching TV while you are eating some food here. I thought that was kind of an important thing to have. Adding in a couple of different tables and stuff here just to jazz up this wall a little bit, jazz it up a little bit. I love those shrubs, so I added them in. I know they're really an exterior shrub, but I was like, I want to use them inside. Then I was going to put this waterfall in, but I decided not to because I was like, I just can't find a place to how it would fit, so... Added in a couple of different trophies and stuff there, lowered down the TV just because it was a little too high, and added some art on top for some accent there. And I thought that kind of turned out really well. It's kind of a nice place for your Sims to just sort of sit and eat some food, watch some TV, do whatever they want to do. We're up onto the third story here. This is where the master bedroom is and master bathroom as well here. This is the master bathroom. Goes through a little bit of a couple of different tweaks here. You can see it has sort of like a two-room part system here. Originally, I was going to have sort of the sort of sink and everything in one side along with a bathtub, and then I was going to have the shower and the toilet in this other little cubbyhole area. But then later on, I figured out that I could actually put a sauna up here. There was enough room for it, just barely enough room. So I actually kind of commandeer this little area over here into a sauna. So it kind of turns out really interesting. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I kind of like the way it turns out, and I like the idea that you can have a sauna inside of your house, which is kind of cool. I don't think I've ever included a sauna inside of my Sims homes yet, so this might be the first one, which is kind of interesting. So, still kind of decorating this as if it's not going to have a sauna in it, so you can see what it would have looked like before the sauna was installed, so it was kind of an interesting sort of free-flowing bathroom. I love the way of using these dividers to kind of create the impression of two separate rooms, but it's all one room, right? Like it all flows together as one room, so... It's kind of interesting there, so just kind of tweaking it a little bit here, adding in different windows, because I was going to have windows that sort of let light into this separate area, but of course in the end I will be closing that off and turning it into a sauna. So adding more clutter-based items here, and I was going to put some shrubs there, but they just didn't quite work. So one last rug, and we're good. We are off into the master bedroom, and as you can see, I'm like, whoa, there's so much room over here, so I create this little wall, and later on we'll conjoin those two rooms, and that will become the new sauna. So... went with this interesting aqua color. Would you call that aqua? I'm going to call it aqua. It's kind of like a bluish, I don't really know. Anyway, interesting color. They matched up, and I was like, I've never used this color in a house build before, so let's do that. So kind of threw that in there. And another TV, so your Sims can watch TV while they are, of course, in bed, which is important. I love doing that. I love watching TV in bed. I end up, like, passing out, though. I, like, fall asleep, and then I wake up, and I'm like, oh, God. And then it's just not the greatest. So as you can see here, it's just big enough to fit a sauna. So I have to move all of the items that are in there out and then put in the actual sauna. So it's kind of a nice idea to have this sort of sauna in your bathroom. So I added in a glass door there, so you have to go through the bathroom to get into the sauna. There's no other way to do that, but I thought it was a good idea. And then along this one bare wall here, I thought, you know what would be cool is to have windows, kind of like what we have downstairs in the kitchen, but looking into the sauna. So an interesting idea. So don't get up to anything interesting in that sauna, because people walking in the hallway can see you. So be aware of that. Kind of a scary thought. Adding in some art here across the way from the sauna, and that will complete our upstairs area. We'll jump outside here to do the final bit of the patio area upstairs. Added in a hot tub. This would be an awesome place to just relax with the hot tub. Putting in some awesome couches and stuff up here. Just a great place for your Sims to relax. Once again, I love these shrubs, so I had to include them in the actual build up here. Also, it creates a little bit of privacy from the theoretical neighbors that you don't really have, but you could have. Adding in some speakers here, changing around some of the tables, the side tables and stuff, and adding some cool lamps, and of course a stereo, because you want some music outside. That's an important part. I was going to put a yoga mat up here, but I was like, there's just not quite enough room, so I just made the sofa a little bit bigger, so you've got tons of room to entertain people upstairs here on the awesome private balcony. Also adding in some little bit of candles there, and we're done. Into the backyard area here. I thought it would be kind of nice to sort of go through and have like this interesting backyard, right? Like you can see it's kind of like a thin little strip. You don't have a lot of space to work with, but I thought that was kind of fun, right? It's sometimes nice, and it's a challenge to see what you can do with such a small amount of space. So added in a bar here. There's a small pool, as you can see. There's also going to be a nice little seating area here. And there's also even going to be a table, so you guys can sit outside and even eat if you want to. So we've got a little seating area here with 2 chairs that kind of look over the pool, which I thought was kind of nice. I'm even going to add some flower pot areas. Not really flower pots, flower beds is a better word. And some trees, so that's kind of a nice little area. I really like the way that the backyard turned out. I think it turned out really nice. For the space that I had available to myself, or made available to myself, I think I did a pretty good job. So this is sort of the back house area. You can call it a garage or storage room or whatever you really want. Each of the quote-unquote condos has one. I've turned this one into a gym. So there is a personal gym. It has its own TV in it. I thought that was kind of fun. There's kind of this motivational poster inside of the game, so I thought, you know what would be funny is to put that inside of the gym. So I assume the motivational poster has something to do with working out, but of course that is just a figment of my imagination. I have no idea what the poster actually says. Changing around here, adding the flower beds in and adding the trees here, so just finding a nice tree that sort of fits, adding a little rock in there, and then filling it up with a bunch of different flowers and stuff, just to give it this full look. I love that idea that the flower beds kind of appear to be sort of like bursting at the seams. So here's one final shot of the house here, guys, or the finished condo. Don't forget, you can, of course, add this into your game. There is a link on screen right now, or, of course, in the description down below. Now, here is a awesome shot of the office area in the front. Here you can see there's a little seating area there. There's the grand piano, and then dun 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 dun, the awesome living room area inside of the game. I love this room. I think it looks amazing. I love the way that the fish tank sort of integrates as well. I think it turned out really well. So you can see the living room there, and then it sort of has this overhang. The balcony has the kitchen and the dining room built right into it, guys. I think it turned out really well. Again, there's a shot of the kitchen moving into the dining room. They just flow together so well. And then you can see right outside into your backyard, which is really cool. Upstairs here, there's a shot of the sauna and, of course, the one and only bedroom inside of the game here. It's kind of a nice bedroom, very simple. And, of course, you do also get a TV to watch whatever shows you want to while you're in bed. One shot of the master bedroom balcony here with the hot tub over top of it. And then, of course, a beautiful shot of the backyard here. You can see, I love the way this looked. I think it turned out really well. Well, here's one final shot as we blast off into space over top of the Sims world. Here is my awesome modern condo. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Sims 4 house building video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel for more Sims 4 based videos coming out in the near future. Just click on the button on screen right now, or of course in the description down below, to subscribe and get all of my latest videos sent straight to you. You can also follow me on many social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and even Snapchat. There is an annotation on screen right now, and of course all of the links are in the description down below. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and until next time, I'm Paradis, and happy simming!